Hey guys, it's Brandy here with Brandy's Boutique and Alterations, and I just wanted to go over this machine right here today with you. This is the Baby Lock Flare. It is the single needle embroidery machine, and if you will like and subscribe, you will see my future videos that are going into detail on this machine as far as how to thread it, bobbin, do everything that you need to do to get it functioning in the way you want it to be printing your digitized embroidery. So I use a program called Embroidery 3 to do my digitizing, and I do all the digitizing on my computer, and then I just upload it to this Baby Lock Flare, and it just prints everything I needed to do once it's uploaded. You can actually save your files into the machine itself, or you don't have to. Sometimes it doesn't have a huge memory, so I don't save a whole lot of stuff in there, but I just keep it set up on my computer, so whenever I have to print it for future uses, I'll still have it there and send it back to the machine again. The project that I'm working on is just a simple apron. It's like a cotton apron, and it's pretty thick cotton. So I'm using a lightweight washable stabilizer on this project. You don't have to do any stabilizer on the top of the project because it's just a straight clean surface on the top. It's not fleece or anything like that, but while I'm using this stabilizer for this project, it actually printed a lot clearer than when I used a heavier weight stabilizer. And we'll get into future videos on stabilizer as well, and which ones I prefer and what fabrics that I use them with. So if you'll like and subscribe, you can see those future videos as well. And if you comment and let me know what you would like to see, if you have any questions or anything about stabilizers and things like that, just let me know and we'll get a video put out on it. But this project, it's pretty detailed because it has so much to it. But I digitized this myself through Embroidery 3, and the digitizing portion of the embroidery that usually takes me, it depends on what the project is, really. This project took me about 20 minutes to go ahead and get the whole thing in, set up, do the font that I wanted, and get it digitized the way I wanted the actual embroidery lettering to come out. You can do just a simple straight satin stitch, and to me, whenever it's doing this font or the script font, it looks better for this font. It's very simple to read and see, so it's a good, clear, nice, clean, crisp embroidery. That's why I chose that font for this project. Some other projects you can change it and use anything you want to on that program, and it does change the look of it. So like I said, we will do future videos with that program, so you can kind of see how it changes as far as which stitching you're using. It also changes the time that it takes to do the embroidery. This project right here took me a total of about 19 minutes to print. And like I said, this is a single needle embroidery machine, so it's not like a commercial type embroidery machine where you can just print hundreds at a time. So every time I run these aprons, this project takes 19 minutes to run it. And that's not including the hooping and stabilizing, all of that, getting your measurements of where you want it centered and all that stuff. So we will go into complete detail on stabilizers and thread and everything, the hoop sizes and everything, in future videos as well. So like and subscribe, comment, let me know what you want to see, what you want to hear. But this machine right here is it's an excellent machine, by far one of my favorite machines. I have another embroidery machine that is a brother And I've had issues with it as far as keeping the tension correct on the bobbin. So this one I've never, knock on wood, never had any issues with this as far as keeping the tension that it should have on that bobbin. And usually when you're changing fabrics and stabilizers and things like that, you know, you could have to tweak some tensioning and stuff in there, but this machine so far has not given me any problems as far as keeping the tension that it should have, or nesting or anything like that. And what I will say is, in reference to the bobbin of this machine, every 3 times you change your bobbin, you need to change your needle, because your needle and you know, the fabric, the project that you're doing, is going to determine how well the embroidery looks. And in the past I've had where it had done some nesting under the bottom where the bobbin is, and it was because the needle needed to be changed. So it's just trial and error as far as I was concerned with learning the details on how to do the embroidery and the way I want it to look. But this machine hasn't given me anywhere near the problems that I had out of the brother. And I say that the machine was giving me problems. It's really not the machine that gives you problems, it's the operator. So anyway, it's just trial and error for me learning how to use it. And I try to watch videos and kind of get updated on how the machines function, how it looks when it prints. But I've had a lot of issues trying to find some really good videos on how to, from start to finish, do a project. So I just kind of had to figure it out on my own. And I kind of rely on the manual to this machine religiously, because the manuals are what helps more than anything with the tensions and the bobbin and all of that stuff. If you don't have the correct size of needle, kinds of needles, it gives issues. So you got to learn all of that stuff. And I've watched videos in the past where they would give information for certain machines, and I've learned that not all of that information is correct. So it's very important that you follow along with what the manual to the machines are telling you to go along with. Just a short example of that is I have a heavy-duty sewing machine that I was working on, and I couldn't ever get the tension straight on it. So I watched a video because I knew something was wrong with the threading and bobbin and all of that stuff. So I watched a video, and it showed them threading the machine. Well, the way that it showed them threading the machine was not the way the manual showed it being done. So that caused issues. So when I finally referred to the manual, which the machine that I had was refurbished, so I didn't get that manual with it. So I had to go online, find the manual that went with that exact machine, and then go from there. And in details, it tells you step by step how to thread that machine and where to, you know, the tension discs that are in between. And so when I did it the way that the manual said, it worked like a champ. So that's going to be the issues with any machine that you have. It's very, very, very important to follow along with those manuals, and to thread and bobbin, needle type, brand, size. You know, your needle changes depending on your fabrics, but you still have to have certain needles for certain things. There are embroidery needles, there are sewing needles, so you just have to kind of be cautious. Some of them use the same, some of them use different ones. So trial and error, you live and you learn. But if you see a video and it doesn't give you instruction to refer back to the manual for the machine, while it's, you know, going through a step-by-step process of it, question it, because you always, always, always need to follow along with what the manual says. And even though I don't like reading the manual, when I purchase a new machine, I always want to refer to that for every single thing, because you have different bobbin sizes for different machines, and those bobbins are very important. If it is not the correct size bobbin, you're not going to get a good product no matter what. And it can damage your machine. So you just got to be cautious on that. And I keep saying that, but it's very important. Also, servicing the machines regularly. I have mine serviced regularly. I have to do an alterations. It puts a lot of strain on the machines, and you want to make sure that the timing is right and that everything is oiled, the belts are good. Everything in the machine is where it should be as far as function wise. And then if you have all of that stuff where it should be, the way it should be, you shouldn't have any issues with the machines at all. Like I say, it's usually not the machine that has the problems, it's the operator of the machine that causes the problems, and I know that from experience. But anyways, so yeah, just wanted to kind of show you a little bit about what this machine does. Baby Lock Flare, highly recommended, but I will do a review on it. I don't really have anything negative to say about the machine, because this machine has done a lot of embroidery time for me. Don't have any major issues with it. But I always, you know, clean it, oil it, keep the bobbin, you know, chain, the needle chain, everything that needs to be. Also, I need to point out the thread. The brand and quality of the thread that you are using for an embroidery machine is very important. If you purchase cheap thread, it can damage the machine or cause lint to build up in the machine, and then it causes issues. So you want to make sure that you get a very good quality thread. Also, that affects how your print is coming out as well. So, and the bobbin, I do not use the same thread, top thread, that I use in a bobbin thread. I use a bobbin thread for the bobbin on this embroidery machine. In my sewing machine, I use the same thread, top and bottom, but on this embroidery machine, I use bobbin thread only in this. And if you have your tension set correctly, you do not see, the bobbin thread does not pull to the top. When I first originally started using an embroidery machine years ago, I put the same color thread in the bobbin as I did on the top thread. You're not supposed to do that. I thought starting out that that's the way it was supposed to be, because I didn't read the manual. And the manual specifically says it has a certain weight bobbin for the machine. You need to use that. It's very important. And if you're using the correct bobbin, then you have the correct tensions, everything is correct and set up the way it should be on the machine, you won't have any problems with the bobbin thread pulling to the top. That was the issue that I was having, because I didn't know what I was doing. And the bobbin thread that was it was coming through on the top of my print. So if I was printing red, it was coming up, white was coming up through that red on the top of that print. So I couldn't figure out what was wrong. So I started putting red bobbin thread to match the top, and come to find out that was so wrong. So if you got everything set the way it should be, per the manual, then you won't have any problems at all. So just always remember to refer to your manual on any machine that you're using, and that will cut back on a lot of trial and error. So just wanted to kind of point that out. And the stabilizer that I'm using in this project, like I said, it's just a lightweight, and it tears out. You can tear it off once the embroidery is done, and then the remaining will wash out when it's washed. So it's just a wash away stabilizer. I usually use kind of a medium weight stabilizer, but this, because the cotton was so thick on it, I didn't want to put any kind of, I didn't want to double up on the thickness of the weight of the fabric. So I just did a lightweight stabilizer. You kind of learn with your machine what you can and can't do as far as, or what looks best for it. But I had noticed when I first originally started doing this type of fabric on this machine with a medium weight stabilizer, it was too thick for the needle. The machine can go through anything that's thick. It was causing some issues with tension on these aprons. So I changed it to a lighter weight stabilizer. Didn't have any issues at all. So we'll get into videos with stabilizer, the hoop sizes, the fabrics that you're using, maintenance on the machines, and all of that good stuff. So if you will like and subscribe to my videos, you will see future videos, and if you will comment, we will put a video out on what you want to see. So you guys have a great, blessed day, and we will see you soon.